I went through all the races in 2022 and removed all the points from Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes to see which team and which driver will win both championships. My name is Chris, welcome back to CFRacing, and enjoy the video. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at Hybe.com, and today I really want to talk to you guys about a feature on the Hybe website called the Box Battle feature. Box Battles on Hybe is a feature where you can go head to head with another Hybe member or an AI. If nobody wants to do a box battle with you, you guys can open boxes with other Hybe members and compete to see who gets the better drop, and the winner of that box battle gets both rewards. It's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. I was messing around on Hybe doing some box battles with a bunch of AI. So just say you win a box battle, all those items will go into your shopping cart, and you can either exchange them in just for the value that they're worth, or you could just get them for yourself. It's actually really cool. You win the box battle, you claim the stuff, you get it probably delivered to your house or whatever the heck you live. It's honestly a really cool idea, and box battles probably one of, if not the coolest features. Also, if you do want to sign up to Hybe, don't forget to use my link and also my code upon registration for 3 free boxes and a little top-up bonus. Once again, it is completely free for you guys, so just go ahead to sign up for Hybe. Like I said, it is completely free. All this stuff is free for you. It's literally, there's literally no reason not to do it. So with that being said, thank you Hybe so much for sponsoring today's video. Hey everybody, what's going on? Chris here, otherwise known as CFRacing, and today everybody, I redid all the points for 2022 without Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes, and you're probably wondering how I did this. Well, what I did is that I went on the F1 website, looked at the results for every single race, removed obviously all Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes drivers, and moved every other driver up a spot, and then I also got the point for fastest lap for everybody as well. If it wasn't a Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes driver, I basically just took the next fastest lap time. So it's a pretty simple concept. I try to do this video every single year, and I'll try to do it for other years as well, maybe like 2015, maybe 2017, 18, who knows. If you guys are new here and you enjoy the content like this, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, join the Discord, a link is in the description. Remember, I will be giving away a Nicholas Goat Tiffy t-shirt if you reach 1,000 Discord members by Christmas, which the time we're recording this is 23rd, but when this video goes out, it'll be 24th, so tomorrow, basically. You guys have a day to do that. So with that being said, enjoy the first race. Race 1 in Bahrain was won by Kevin Magnussen, followed by Valtteri Bottas and Esteban Ocon on the podium. From 4 to 10, we have Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Valtteri Bottas gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 2 in Saudi Arabia was won by Esteban Ocon, followed by Lando Norris and Pierre Gasly on the podium. From 4 to 10, we have Kevin Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Valtteri Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo, and Lando Norris gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 3 in Australia was won by Lando Norris, followed by Daniel Ricciardo, so we have a McLaren 1-2, and Esteban Ocon in P3. From 4 to 10, we have Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly, Zhou Guanyu, Alexander Albon, Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen, and there was no point given up for the fastest lap. The sprint race in Imola was won by Lando Norris, followed by Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, and Sebastian Vettel. The main race in Imola was won by Lando Norris. He's having a pretty good start to the year, followed by Bottas and Tsunoda on the podium. 4 to 10, we have Kevin Magnussen, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Zhou Guanyu, and Nicholas Latifi, with nobody getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 5 in Miami was won by Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, followed by Ocon and Alexander Albon and Williams getting a podium. 4 to 10 was Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, Nicholas Latifi, the GOAT, scoring his first points of the year, Mick Schumacher, and Sebastian Vettel in P10, with Mick Schumacher getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 6 in Spain was also won by Valtteri Bottas, followed by Esteban Ocon and Lando Norris on the podium, with Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll rounding out the top 10, with Lando Norris getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 7 in Monaco was won by Lando Norris, followed by Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel getting a podium, with Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, Nicholas Latifi, Zhou Guanyu, Yuki Tsunoda, and Lando Norris getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 8 in Baku was won by Pierre Gasly, let's go Pierre, followed by Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso rounding out the podium. From 4 to 10, we have Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, Alexander Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, and Yuki Tsunoda gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 9 in Canada was won by Esteban Ocon, followed by Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu rounding out the podium. From 4 to 10, we have Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Lando Norris, and GOAT Tiffy in P10, with Zhou Guanyu getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 10 in Silverstone was won by Fernando Alonso, followed by Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher getting his first ever podium. From 4 to 10, we have Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, and Fernando Alonso gets the point for the fastest lap. The Austrian sprint race was won by Ocon, followed by Magnussen, Schumacher, Bottas, Norris, Ricciardo, Stroll, and Zhou Guanyu. The main race in Austria was also won by Esteban Ocon, as he pretty much maxed out the points for this weekend, followed by Mick Schumacher, Lando Norris, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Valtteri Bottas, Alexander Albon, Lance Stroll, Zhou Guanyu, and Fernando Alonso gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 12 in France was won by Fernando Alonso, with Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon rounding out their podium, with Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, Valtteri Bottas, and Mick Schumacher rounding out the top 10, with Valtteri Bottas getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 13 in Hungary was won by Lando Norris, with Fernando Alonso in P2 and Esteban Ocon in P3. From 4 to 10, we have Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Zhou Guanyu, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, and Kevin Magnussen, with Zhou Guanyu getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 14 in Belgium was won by Fernando Alonso, 42 years old, maybe 43 now, who really knows, but he's still at the top of his game, with Esteban Ocon in P2 and Sebastian Vettel P3. Pierre Gasly finishes P4, followed by Alexander Albon, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu, Daniel Ricciardo, and Lando Norris gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 15 in the Netherlands was also won by Fernando Alonso, and Esteban Ocon finished P2 again, so another 1-2 finish for Alpine, followed by Lance Stroll in P3, Gasly in 4th, followed by Alexander Albon, Sebastian Vettel, Kevin Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Daniel Ricciardo, Nicholas Latifi, and Fernando Alonso gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 16 in Monza was won by Lando Norris, followed by Pierre Gasly and Zhou Guanyu rounding off the podium, with Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, Nicholas Latifi, Yuki Tsunoda, and Daniel Ricciardo rounding out the top 10, with Lando Norris maximizing points this weekend and getting the fastest lap. Race 17 in Singapore was also won by Lando Norris, followed by Daniel Ricciardo and Lance Stroll on the podium, with Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, and Esteban Ocon rounding out the top 10, with Lando Norris once again maxing out the weekend, getting the point for the fastest lap. Race 18 in Japan was won by Esteban Ocon, followed by Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso in P3. Nicholas the GOAT Tiffy finishes P4, followed by Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, and Bottas rounds of the top 10, with no fastest lap point being rewarded. Race 19 in Circuit of the Americas was won by Lando Norris, followed by Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Zhou Guanyu, Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, and Esteban Ocon gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 20 in Mexico was Daniel Ricciardo's one and only win of the season, followed by Esteban Ocon in P2 and Lando Norris in P3. Valtteri Bottas finishes P4, followed by Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, and Daniel Ricciardo maximizes the weekend with the point for the fastest lap. The sprint race in Brazil was won by Lando Norris, followed by Kevin Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, Zhou Guanyu, and Bottas finishes in P8. The feature race, or the main race in Brazil, was won by Fernando Alonso, followed by Esteban Ocon in P2 and Lance Stroll in P3. Sebastian Vettel finishes P4, followed by Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, Nicholas Latifi, Yuki Tsunoda, and Fernando Alonso gets the point for the fastest lap. Race 22 in Abu Dhabi was won by Lando Norris, followed by Esteban Ocon in P2 and Lance Stroll in P3. Daniel Ricciardo finishes P4, followed by Sebastian Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda, Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, Nicholas Latifi, and Lando Norris gets the point for the fastest lap. And guys, now it is time to take a look at the standings for the end of the year. And at the end of the season, your World Drivers' Champion for, I believe, the second year in a row without the top 3 teams is Lando Norris, as he takes 354 points to finish P1. Ocon gave him a good run, 339 points, but only can finish in P2. And all the DNFs for Fernando Alonso really did not help, as he was in P3. Bottas was in P4, tied with Sebastian Vettel, followed by Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Kevin Magnussen, Alex Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, and sadly, in dead last, I know he wanted to give everybody a chance, it was Nicholas Latifi. In the constructor standings, things actually were a little bit different, sort of, than they were in real life. Alpine ended up being the best constructor, as they take 610 points to finish P1. McLaren finished in P2. Aston Martin actually overtook Alfa Romeo and finished P3. Alfa Romeo finished P4. AlphaTauri finished P5. Haas finished P6. And Williams do end up still in dead last. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy and you want to see more simulation content or just content in general from me, then hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, join the Discord, links in the description down below. And with that being said, everybody, I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.